Gracias, señor Mulay Ahmed.
Thank you, Mr. Mulay Ahmed. Next, Ms. Cynthia Basinet has the floor, to be followed by Kathleen Thomas. Cynthia, you have the floor.
Mr. Chairman, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, 16 years ago, I visited the Saharawi refugee camps poised in the most inhospitable outreaches of the Western Sahara, for they too were on a path of self-determination. It would start me on a path of advocacy for displaced societies and diversity. I have stood here and advocated on behalf of the carcinogenic effects of silica in the Sahrawians' eyes and other extreme health conditions, on behalf of better off-the-grid solutions such as solar for the power and soft industry within their camps. Now am advocating on behalf of the Sahrawians' intellectual property and media bias or fake news, as it diverts attention which silences solutions. The Sahrawian leader in their crusade for self-determination died last year, President Mohammed Abdelaziz, after 40 years of championing issues of displaced societies without so much as a blip on the media. In the media. President Abdelaziz was an incredible gateway leader for decades, and I was fortunate to meet. Whole societies blighted with real issues diverted by algorithms and fake news. For nearly 2 decades, the Sahrawian have been the fall guys for a rigged media and a rigged media around the world benefiting the 1% at the expense of the 99% and now soon to be the 0.001%. Did the Sahrawians benefit from the recent pleas of actor George Clooney, the media, and the Global Emergency Response Coalition? And yet, it was the Sahrawian cause that ignited my media activism, driven by compounding events of looming famine that influenced the aforementioned. The Sahrawian stoic and peaceful demands is their intellectual property. Their intellectual property is a bit like sourdough bread. And like sourdough bread, a little piece of the Sahrawian are in that donation campaign for their neighboring nations at risk of severe famine, like the Sahrawians. Again, I would not be standing here to see this action play out if not for the support of the Sahrawian people. For in 1991, they signed the United Nations mission for the referendum in Western Sahara, but progress has been blocked by a rigged media, and for my part, I offer my humble apologies. Sahrawians should be prized and protected, for they are fighting for all. Teachers to the world of self-determination and peaceful resolutions. One look no further than the recent NFL protests or Catalonia's referendum to see just how the Sahrawians' own campaign they are adopting. Again, all this occurring in the path of self-determination and peaceful resolutions. My older brother is mentally challenged and yet is a barometer of fake news years ago. He gets so irate, he suggests they all go pan gold. Well, the gold we need to pan is the incredible knowledge and resourcefulness of the self-determined displaced societies the Sahrawian have endured 4 decades of strife and yet have given the world so much gold. Now it's our turn to protect their intellectual property, protect their resources, protect their self-determination for autonomy. For what they have displayed in their path to autonomy is influencing us, ours worldwide. There is no doubt we are all in this together, that we most depend on is our intellectual property, especially in incidents of displacement, as it is in many cases the only possession. That intellectual property is a human rights issue and is not free. And like the sourdough, their intellectual property is a piece in all of us. Isn't it time we feed them, hear them, and allow them to be solutions possible?